What is up, guys? It's Gabe from Squeegee here. I'm so happy to talk with you guys on this Tuesday afternoon. Hope you're all having a good day. I am so happy to have a good friend of mine, Randi Tieken. She's from Window Magic Supply in Southern California. You're in Escondido, but you serve kind of San Diego and all that area, right?
Yes, we're close
Yeah.
to. You never brag and say you're from Escondido, but we're very
Right.
close to San Diego.
I love Escondido. I have some friends who live in there, and it is beautiful. I mean,
It
all of
really
Southern
is.
California is beautiful.
It really is
Yeah.
pretty. We're inland.
Yeah.
It's a lot hotter.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for
So,
sure, for sure. Well, I am so glad that you're able to take some time to join us. I think you're one of those people that, if you're not careful, you can fly under the radar. But you have a long history in our industry, and I think more people need to know about it. You're also one of those people that whenever we have any type of fundraising or any type of, we're trying to get to help someone cover medical bills or get through something, you're like one of the first people that is like, yes, what can I do? Tell me what you need. Do you need equipment? Do you need donations? And it's just, that's something that I've always really appreciated about you. It says a lot about your character. So that's one of the things I think solidifies our friendship on that is because of how you are to help people out.
Well, you're the same way.
For sure.
The end of the flow. I mean, all you guys are just so amazing. So thank you, Gabe.
Yeah, well, that's why we get along so well, huh? Well, first off, so you, although you've had, how long has Window Magic Supply been around?
Window Magic Supply started in 2018, like August. So, and then 2019, and then COVID happened. So, it was just kind of a little rough start at the very beginning.
Right, right.
And how
So
I start. Go ahead.
I guess I'm. Oh, good. No, good. I was just going to say, I guess I met you right when you started. I didn't realize that was right at the beginning of you starting the supply portion of your business.
Yeah. Had I known, I mean, it's so funny. We used to own a screen repair shop. I always go that because it's 2 doors down from where we are. And so like where people would come in and pick up their screens, and we had the window cleaning business. So they'd come and I thought, I have all the space here. I mean, it wasn't that big, but I thought I could put supplies here because there was a local janitorial supply not too far from here that went out of business. And window cleaners, I mean, we're notorious for being in front of broken screen. We always get blamed for breaking screens. So they'd bring screens in and they'd go, where am I going to get my soap? Where am I going to get my squeegee rubber? And I went, maybe I should start carrying that. I mean, I started that way. This industry has just blown up before my very eyes. So it's been real neat.
Just so you guys know, so Randi has been a window cleaner since 1990 is when she started her business.
Yeah.
So she knows, she's not just someone who, hey, this is kind of a neat industry. Maybe I can make some money by selling products to them. She's done it. So she has been in the whole mix. She's seen everything, kind of all the changes and the move to water-fed poles and the different introduction to the new types of squeegees that exist, right? And so she's been really at the forefront of our modern day kind of window cleaning expansion that we've had. So why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about your experience, how you got into windows, and kind of what things you've seen over the years?
Sure. So my husband had the window cleaning business, and he had a partner. And I worked in my dad's business, which was more sales rep for architectural products. And I did that. I was always, before that, I was always in customer service. That's my forte. I love being of service. I was a waitress forever. I also worked in the music business for a while. I was a sales rep for that, which was a lot of fun. But then working in my dad's business, I married my husband, who was a window cleaner. He had a partner, and his partner decided he didn't want to be in the business anymore. And my husband was just devastated. He's like, because he was in the sales part of things, and he's like, what am I going to do? And I thought, hey, I will. And I told my dad, I am going to leave this business because it was never my thing. I don't like selling, like trying to convince people to buy something. That's not my thing. So I left the sales business, and it was really funny because my job was to call on architects and designers. One of the architects was my husband's customer. So one month I'm in there, in my little, outfit, suit and everything, calling on this architect. No lie, the next month I'm in washing his windows. He didn't even know I was the same person. And there weren't that many women window cleaners back then, but so
Right.
it was a totally different. You see how you get treated a little different sometimes when you're a
Mhm.
window cleaner. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that has always been my mission, is to bring the integrity of this industry up, because window cleaning is such a solid profession. It's a profession, it's a skill, it's a trade, it's an art. I really do believe that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very artistic work. And so, would always bug me, because we'd always go to the IWCA conventions, which I always recommend. And you'd go there and you'd be with your people and you would just feel so a part of something so much bigger than you. But,
Yeah.
you'd tell your friends, oh, yeah, we're going out of town. We're going to a window cleaning convention. And people would always laugh, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
a window
Yeah.
cleaning
Like what?
convention. And
What's
I'm like,
that?
and it bothered me. Like, why do you gotta laugh? Like, and whenever you see like cartoons or commercials, they always have the window cleaner, kind of the goofy guy in the background peeking through the window.
Yes.
And I don't
Right.
like that.
Right.
We are
Right.
professionals. And, so that's that. But anyway, so I started washing windows in 1990. I did a lot of the commercial storefronts. And then my husband and I would meet together on the larger, commercial jobs and the residential. So that was just my thing. And, like I said, there weren't that many women in the industry back then. Usually, when you'd go to the conventions, a lot of the women would be there to support their husbands, or they worked in the office, and that's been such a cool change, as you see so many women in the industry now, which I just love so much. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, it used to be funny because here in the 90s, that's when all the minivans came out, and I had a work truck with the work rack and ladders on it, and the work,
Right.
my
Right.
tool belt, and I drive up. And that's one of the benefits of window cleaning. It gives you the
Yeah.
flexibility to take your kids to school, to pick them up, to go to their school plays. But I was always the mom in the work
Right.
truck. All the minivans are there. And so, yeah, it's just been quite a journey.
Yeah.
I have so much to say. I always tell Gabe, I'm a runaway train. You ask me a question and I'm going to answer
No, that's what I
15.
like. Just kind of to say what you said, my wife, when we first started our business, she worked with me for a little bit, but she also had a job as a receptionist for a law firm. And so she also said kind of the same thing with you, because when she went to like the grocery store from that job, she was dressed much nicer. She's like, people just respected
Yeah.
her, just the way she was dressed. But then she'd go after cleaning windows somewhere, and they would like look down on her,
Yep.
like almost kind of like, "Ooh, what are you, why are you here?" Because she would go shopping like at Trader Joe's or
Yeah.
whatever. Because my wife's always had these food allergies, right? So she's always had to go to the stores where they sold the stuff that she could actually eat. And she'd always kind of like, man, it's like it's sad how different you get
Yep.
treated as a woman, the way that you're dressed,
It's
and certainly
very true.
men feel that too, but I don't feel it's as steep of a drop, and
I
I think
agree.
that's what's a little bit challenging with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree, because when I used to drop my daughter off from school to school, and
Mhm.
then my first account, because we lived in the area, and with route work, you always start at the place closest to where you are, what's the best logistically, or the time that they want you there. So my first stop was Starbucks, because we had the Starbucks account.
Right.
And I'll tell you, window cleaning really helped me get in touch with who I am as a human, apart from how the world looks at you. Because I'd go to Starbucks and all the other moms would be there drinking their coffee after they dropped their kids off. And there I am. And I got my bucket and my pole. And I'd kind of peek around the corner. I'd see the moms and I'm like, so, and then I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
had to challenge myself. It's like, if they're, and most of it's in my head, let me tell you, because I
Sure.
don't think they were looking
Sure.
down upon me. But in my head, I was thinking, yeah, they probably think they're better than me, because they get to sit here and enjoy a cup of coffee, and I'm sitting here,
Sure.
slinging a squeegee. But it made me face that fear and walk up there with pride and just do the
Yes.
windows, and
That's it.
so
That's it.
it's just been quite a challenge with my ego, and my pride to just go, you know what? This is solid work and I'm doing it and I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Same.
the profession of window cleaning so much.
You would love talking to my wife. She almost said the exact same thing. That was a challenge for her too, because she'd always, all her jobs had been customer service oriented. In the beginning, I think she worked at like Carl's Jr. or something, fast food. But after that, it was always administrative assistant, receptionist, in those kind of professional settings. And in the beginning, it kind of bothered her. But yeah, after a while, she was like, you know what? I'm proud of it now, because
Yeah.
I can go to a job and I'm faster than all the guys. She's like, I can out clean the guys. And she, I remember when we had this one Asian restaurant. And it was really good food. Oh my gosh. Sometimes we would just eat there after we were done, because it was such a big restaurant. It was off of a mall, but it had these huge, tall windows. And I remember we had a guy there who kind of thought a little bit of himself. He had some experience. And he came and he was struggling with these tall windows trying to pull. And of course, this is, we didn't have water fed back then. Now we would just pull up with the water fed. But back then we're old school pulling it. And he was just struggling with it because it was in the wind or in the sun, and it was drying on him, and he just was getting really frustrated, And my wife just walks over there. She's all annoyed. She's like, "Come on, let me do it." She's like, boom, 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 squeezes it, does it, hands him back the pole, and walks off. And I was laughing so hard, because he just had this look of like, what? How did you just do that? But that's where she got, and she would still be cleaning windows, but she started getting arthritis in her arms.
Yeah.
And so so she went back to the administrative side of it. But anyways, I just it's funny, you guys had a very similar journey in that,
Oh,
of
I
kind of
love
coming
that.
around to appreciating the technical part of it. That, hey, yeah, okay, I'm not dressed in this, fancy, dress and skirt and everything, but I have the skill that not a lot of people have, and I have this ability to do things that even guys who are experienced struggle with,
Right.
And she had that pride of being able to do that work. So
I love
awesome.
that, because
Very
she
cool.
went up, because there's been so many times. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had it where you pull up and you see someone washing windows, or the store owner, and they're squirting Windex on there, and they got their like little
Yeah,
car wash, and I just want to go up
yeah.
but then I go,
Yeah,
let him do it.
yeah.
He's doing that's how they do it. But anyway,
Yep,
yeah,
yep, yep.
it's a challenge.
Well, very cool. Well, I want to show a picture here. So this is I think this was in so so this is 2023. We have known each other. I think it was when you first started. I think it was 2018
Yeah.
is when we met. It was probably at the IWC convention, and we just clicked. And then you joined into the Flow group, and then we got to kind of get to know each other a lot better there. And so I think that's really cool to see where Window Magic Supply has come in those few years. Tell us a little bit of some of the new things that you got going on with Window Magic Supply, because you're local, you're in an area.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some advantages do you have to that, having like a store where people can literally walk in, talk to you, buy some equipment, get some information? Why is that kind of a cool thing that you have going?
Well, the neat thing about the area where I live is there are so many window cleaners here. I mean, the weather is so
Right.
good, just like Florida or
Yes.
someplace where, the sun is shining all the time. I mean, it's just like a hub for window cleaning. I remember when I first started the store and I got online just to look at how many it's endless how many window cleaners. And in San Diego, it's a lot of owner operators here, not real big, huge window cleaning companies. So the benefit, I think, is what we love, I need to say. And first of all, I want to say I am so blessed. We are a small team, but I have just the most amazing people that work here with me. Um, Jose, who was a window cleaner with us for a very, very long time. He's been with me, I think, for 13 years. Justin's been with me for 15 years. I have Carol that's here, Jesus, and somebody comes in and they have an issue where, as we know, as a window cleaner, time is money. And your number 3 clamp breaks on your pole, and you've got a big job that you got to get done, because tomorrow you got another big job that's got to get done. And you come in and, duct tape It's just not going to hold it up very long. So you can come in here and we get, oh, you need a number, call, come on in and we'll get that, we'll get the little screwdriver, get that number 3 clamp off. Or if
Yeah.
you have a machine that, something's going on with it, something breaks. And, we have all the parts. We have 2 full toolboxes with all the little parts and everything you need. Or if there's something that breaks that we don't have, we do have loaners. Here, take the machine, get back out there, get to
Nice.
work. And and that
Nice.
happens. One guy called me yesterday and he's like, Randy, all my stuff just got stolen out of my truck. And that just breaks my heart.
Oh,
People, and that,
sure.
oh gosh, as you know, we just had that guy
Yeah.
in Arizona where someone just
In there. Yep.
bolt
Phoenix.
cut his whole trailer full of stuff and your whole
Yep.
livelihood is gone. And
Yeah.
and that's what I love about this community. Everybody pulled together, everybody got him up and going again. And
Oh,
we
that's
get
awesome.
guys that'll come in, and they'll say, here, I have some old tools. If a guy comes in and needs them, donate them to him,
Yeah.
because we
Yeah. Yeah.
want you out there making money. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. That's
that's the
awesome.
benefits. Also, what I think is the benefit of when I started washing windows, there was a little janitorial supply, and it was just a little place, and you'd walk in and you'd get to see and touch and feel the squeegees. I mean, mind you, there was about a tenth of the selection there is now, but you could feel it. I
Right.
mean, when you have a
Yes.
30-degree squeegee in your hand or a 40-degree, I mean, when it
Yes.
really makes a difference on your
It
wrist.
makes.
And
Yes.
different squeegees, the way, like the way the Sorbo
Yeah.
fits in against
Yes.
how the Pulex Illumax, the wide body, I mean, they just sit different on
Yes.
a squeegee.
They do.
And it's nice to be able to see it and touch it and feel it and see how it's going to feel in your
Yeah.
hand. So,
Funny
um,
story on that. I was in Atlanta doing a training for a franchise, and so there was about 4 new window cleaners that I was training, and one guy was just really struggling with streaking. He would go across. When he was fanning, there'd be like some streaks left behind. Could not figure out what it is. We tried pressure, we tried angle, and I always start them off with the Netare lead G's,
I love the
and with the brass
Legis.
channel. That's how I start
Yeah.
all my students off. Yeah, me too, but he just could not get it. So I happened to have a Sorbo from the convention that I got, right, and it was one of those. I think it was 18-inch. I
Hmm.
just put the Sorbo in his hand. That little angle made all the difference, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he had no problem when he was fanning just like normally. It's just weird how, like you say, just being able to try the handles,
Yep.
use them. It helps you to kind of figure out what's the right one for you.
And it's always Ford or Chevy because, there's a lot on Instagram where you get to see all the different
Yeah,
things, and all the different tools, and they all look so cool. But getting them in your
yes,
hand and using them is a whole different story. So that's what I
yeah,
love about being able to say, try it. And just because so and so
hmm,
doesn't like this brand, I always say it's Ford or
that's right.
Chevy.
Yes,
Some guys
yep,
love Ford, other guys hate it. It doesn't mean one's better than
yeah,
the other. And
yeah.
there's
I
something
think
for
okay.
every job. You're not going to use wagtail on every job. You're not, what
That's
I'm
right.
saying?
Yep.
So,
Yep. 100%. 100%. And also, I think it's important that you have someone who knows what about the products, is as educated about the products, because you can have a salesperson, right, who is just being paid to sell that brand,
yeah,
or you can have a window cleaner who has used all the different brands and can kind of guide you on that. And I think that's a big difference, because then you're finding someone who's like, hey, he wants to help you solve a problem, not necessarily just sell you what he has,
exactly.
and that makes a big difference. Yeah. Yeah, I
Exactly.
think Window Magic Supply is a good place for that. You have a lot of loyal people. I know there's a lot of friends of mine who go down there,
Oh,
and
thank
they'll just go and hang out. And you have kind of like every so often like meetups, right?
Yes, we just last week it was so fun because I have a lot of guys that do drone work, and
Hmm.
it's kind. Do you? Sorry, that when Waterfed was
Sorry, we lost you.
just coming out, and when the
Yeah.
Tucker pole just came, and it was an aluminum, and it had the little
Hmm.
thing,
Hmm.
and I remember when it first came out. And we were so afraid of water fed because we
Right.
didn't understand it. It seemed like so complicated. And so we had to put water fed down. No, water fed's not, we never tried it, but we had to put it down because we didn't understand it. We thought we couldn't
Mhm.
afford to get into it. And I think like with the drone work, there's a lot of mystery to it because it's just kind of coming on the scene. So
Yeah.
I've been really fortunate. I got the coolest guys. I am so blessed, and gals that come in here, and I get to learn about the different facets of the drone work. I have one fella and his dad. They come up from Mexico because we're very close to Mexico, and there's about 2 drone operators in Mexico that are starting. I have another fella. I think he's the one that did the video that you were going to upload. I don't think it was able to upload. John from Busy Drone. He is so amazing. And I have a guy named Jim. He has his own. It's called Aqua Drone. And we had a meetup here, and Chemitech has just
Mhm.
come out with a new drone cleaning agent. A whole bunch of different ones. And we went and did a demo on it,
Yeah.
and we had so much fun because we had 2 drones. I mean, there's just so much to it. When you have to have your FCC license, which I didn't know. I mean, you have to get clearance before you can
Right.
fly
Yes.
this drone. It can go up 27 stories without a ladder. But we had an incident about a month ago. I had a customer walk in. He's a high rise guy from Los Angeles, and he came in and he bought, some supplies, and he goes, I'm in a real pickle. He goes, I got the Ronald Reagan building in Los Angeles, but there was a water moratorium here in California. We couldn't, none of the federal or state buildings could do
Oh
any
no.
pressure washing, cleaning. So they did not keep their anchors on their roofs, for the high rise guys to drop down. Nothing got maintained, and they wanted their windows cleaned, but they said the only way we're allowed to do it is, hey, someone just said hi there, the window guy, um, that we have to do it by drone. He goes, and I don't have a drone. And I go, hey, I got just the person for you. So I called my friend Jim. Jim met him up in Los Angeles, did the demo, and, they're going to do the job. So, I really do. I know this sounds like I'm not just saying this to be a cute little saying. The sky really is the limit with window cleaning. We never know what's on the horizon to happen next. We got drones, robots. I mean, seriously, there's just always a twist and a turn here. So it's a lot of fun seeing what's
Yeah.
coming.
I had a video that I really wanted to show, and it was of the drone meetup that you had. It was really cool. I'll put a link to it so people can see. For some reason, I could not load it in here. The Streamlabs didn't like it, so I wasn't able to play it here for this interview. But I'll put the link in there. But you have all kinds of different meetups. I know you've had
Mhm.
throughout the years, right? Like, something you do regularly, or just whenever you feel like, hey, it's
Every
time for us to have a
August.
meetup? Every
So
August.
in
Okay.
August, oh, if anyone out there could come, we have so much fun. So we kind of take over the whole parking lot. 3 years ago, Sorbo came himself. He rode up on his motorcycle. That was really cool. And he had someone bring a bunch of stuff, and we did a lot of giveaways. We had Edere came last year, Unger. We have a rep from Unger. And we have just different vendors come. Pulex, they're always so gracious to come, and we do giveaways and raffles. We have a taco cart, and we have tent set up because it's hot here in August. But the best part about it is to get the industry together. And from just going to the conventions, when you get us together and we start
Yes.
talking our common language, and people get to see you're not my competition. We're in the same industry, and to see how everybody comes together because we're all pretty much from the same locale.
Yeah.
So everybody's here from San Diego, Los Angeles, Riverside, and everybody makes friends and networks,
Yeah.
and they help each other. They got a
That's
big
it.
job. I need so and so, and the feeling is really electric. So if
Yes.
there's anybody out there that can come, I'll put the date out. Plus, Ryan DeHoop just had an event last Saturday. I wasn't able to make it, but we went and we, had some things to raffle off. So there's always something going on in the industry, which is, the meetups. We have a pressure washing meetup. Guy named Jeremy runs the SoCal pressure washing meetup, and some of the vendors come and getting the guys together. I always recommend doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, it's really cool. And it's a good idea. I feel like, just like what you said, there's the tendency sometimes is to view people, your competitors, because they are
Hmm.
competitors in your area, as natural enemies. And it's true, sometimes they are. Sometimes you get people who are very kind of, cutthroat, and they're going to just win at all costs, and they view you as the enemy. So you got to protect yourself from that
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
But the vast majority, they're more worried about you. And if you just show them, hey, there's a ton of glass to go around. I'm not here to take your work. I'm not here to take food off of your family's plate. But I also am a window cleaner, and I want my business to succeed. Is there some way we can network and try and help each other out? And then everyone relaxes, and we realize we're
Yep.
not trying to hurt anybody. We're just trying to provide for our own, and when we can do it in a way that everyone it gets a piece of the pie and everyone's happy.
There's a
So
mutual
that's
respect.
always been my philosophy. Yes,
Ours as
absolutely.
well. And when my husband, he's disabled Vietnam vet, so he's not able to work anymore. But when we would work together and we'd see other window cleaners, and we'd always, especially if he saw a guy that was just starting out, he would always try
Yeah,
to help him. And he'd always say, there's enough windows to go around for everybody.
yeah,
There's no shortage of windows here. I mean, look around. And
yes.
also, hey, um, one of my favorite customers just walked in the door. So like, even if like we were doing a storefront and the guy next door came out and he'd ask for a price, how much to do my
Yeah,
windows. And if my husband saw, or if I saw that the windows looked clean and good, he'd say, well, do you have a current window cleaner? Yeah. Are you happy with them? Yeah. Well, then keep using them. We don't want to,
yeah,
we don't want to take business away from anybody.
right,
And
exactly.
it always worked out well. I really do believe if you keep your integrity in this industry, which it seems like most people do, you feel
Yeah,
good about what you're doing and you don't have to look over your shoulder afraid that
yeah,
someone's going to steal your
100%.
business.
100%. Just on that note, I do want to give a quick shout out. So Jake Van Orden, he's the one who runs Window Cleaning Nation. They are having a Window Cleaning Nation meetup in Utah. So this is going to be Saturday, May 16th. It's from 10:30 to 3:30. Well, that's mountain time. That's my time. I'm not sure what time is there, but I think it's probably two. I think it's 2 hours different, maybe 1 hour different. But it's anyway, Saturday, May 16th. It's at Draper Park, Utah. If you're in that area and you want to swing by and visit, I'm going to try to make it. I can't guarantee it yet. I still got to work out my my schedule to see if I can make it up there. But I would really love to get out there. I have to talk with Jake about it. But yeah, that's one of those times we can just meet, check out each other's trucks and tools, talk to everybody, and just kind of get that networking going that you're talking about. So that's good. But I do also want to say hi to a few people here. We've got James Smith is in, Damien Schreckengos is in. We've got Adam Hogan in, Jake Van Orden. So I know we've got quite a few people here. I left, so then I lost some of the comments. Who was commenting here? Let me see here. Nope, I lost them. Anyways, but I know
Ah,
there was a bunch
darn.
of people in here, so a lot of them said hi, and they said that you're the best. So really
Aw,
cool to get that response here. But
thank
okay,
you.
very cool. So I did. We're about halfway done. I wanted to spend some time talking about safety because I know
Yes.
being in Southern California, solar panel cleaning is a really big industry over there. There's
Hmm.
a ton of people, window cleaners who do solar panel cleaning. There's companies who only do solar panel
Yep.
cleaning. Can you talk a little bit about the work you've done to kind of promote safety awareness and safety training for those who are cleaning solar panels?
Well, I mean, safety in general, I think, is so important. And when we would go, when my husband and I were really active with our window cleaning business, we'd always have our guys go through the safety training at the IWCA convention. What's really cool now, and I'm not just making plugs for the IWCA, but they have an online training course as well as Michael Draper does too,
Yeah.
and ISCA, International Solar Cleaners I believe it's Association or Academy, one of the two. But I really,
I
really
think it's
stress
Academy.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Academy. Because I'll get people, people just starting out in the industry, and you'll kind of, I don't want to scare you to scare you. I want to scare you into realizing that there are risks out there. We had a local window cleaner here in San Diego, and this was probably about
Yeah.
15 years ago, that
Yeah.
with his pole, he touched a power line, and one of my
Yeah.
customers was his coworker that had to clean up. Ugh. He lost his arms as a result of that, because so many times we're so focused on getting the job done that we don't realize when we're extending a telescopic pole 40 feet in the air that there's power lines
Yeah.
around. And then with solar, the solar panels now that are up there, so many have been up for going on 15 or more years, and little birds are up there pecking those wires and doing things that, there's so many things that I do not even know about solar safety, that and I've been to several solar safety trainings because the industry is relatively new.
It is.
There's
Yeah.
new stuff coming out. I mean, people think, oh, well, we'll just have them turn off the solar panels. You can't. You cannot turn
Mm-mm.
off solar panels. So they're
No.
always charged. I mean, you could turn off the circuit breaker, it's going to
Yes.
reduce it a bit. So, having all the safety measures in place, going to the safety training, getting a certificate that shows to your customer, yes, I know what I'm doing. Um, Taking the precautions when you're up on a roof,
Yes.
having the gloves, the properly rated gloves, the footwear, a lot of the poles now have the two bottom sections insulated, which is so important. I mean, one thing alone isn't going to save you. You need everything
Yeah.
that they're suggesting to have that. And so I really try to tell them, and many of them do, thankfully. It's so easy
Hmm.
now to get online and take safety training courses. I always say,
Yeah.
if you can get to a live class, that's even better,
Yes.
because then you can
Yeah.
ask questions and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And the IWCA, at the conventions, there's always safety training classes there.
Hmm.
Michael Draper, he usually conducts some the OSHA 1910 class. Also at the huge convention, I know I'm not sure what our plans are this year as far as training. But I know last year we had a free safety training. Anybody who you
Love
just
it.
had to register, that's it, and you can get that safety training going. But it's so important. I know I went years before. I think it was probably 14 years before I got any type of safety training. It's just because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I remember that incident in Southern California. That guy
Mm.
who had fried. I remember that, and it was back then. I didn't have a water fed pulse, so kind of was like, wow, well, I don't have to worry about that because I don't have one. But I just remember
Yeah.
it being really shocking because shocking. I didn't. That was a really bad pun. Did not intend that at all.
But I know what you
But,
mean. Yeah.
it just was something that I had never even considered being a danger, never even considered being something that you have to be careful with. And I had poles, but I think they extend 20 feet
Yeah.
was like the longest one that I had, because I was still doing trad. But it just really wakes you up to know that, hey, I mean, that guy went to work thinking he was going to come home, and be fine, and just another every or day, and his life was changed, with that.
Just
And
like Jason
yeah,
Knight.
yeah, just like Jason, and the fact that Jason has been willing to be so vocal about his
Love that.
experience, I truly believe it saved lives, and it's continuing to save lives, and support people. I remember there was a guy who had posted about a near miss, and I think he thankfully didn't get shocked, he didn't get electrocuted, but his pole got just zapped, and it was just gone, it just shredded. And Jason was
Yeah.
one of the first people in there commenting and just saying, hey, if you want to talk, because even though nothing happened to him, that can be very traumatic when you are faced with that idea, like, wow, I could have just died. I could have died
Yeah.
today. And I just didn't, thankfully. That's a lot of stuff to unpack emotionally, mentally, when you're faced with your mortality like that. So I just, hats off to him, man. The fact that he's gone through so much and still willing to talk about it
I
so
know.
openly and give of himself and his time. Both him and his dad, they both have health problems. Him from his accident, and his dad just from the stuff you get when you're older.
Yeah.
And they're still going, man. They are still going as much as they
I
can.
met
So
them.
much love to them.
Yeah. And one thing I just wanted to add to that, what I have found, and having friends that own businesses, not just window cleaning, tree trimming businesses, other type of maintenance businesses, it seems that um, sometimes it's the most experienced of us that can get lax,
Yeah.
because sometimes you hear it so often and you think, oh, yeah, that's for the new guys or that's for somebody else. But the biggest thing, is, and we still have we have just a little tiny window cleaning business left that we just maintain a lot of our regular customers. And it's be in the moment. Just
Yeah.
remember, if you're on a ladder, try not to think about something you did, be right where you are. It's just the most important thing, because your life is so precious. And like you said, you never know. We're
Yeah.
one happening away from something.
I talked with Michael Draper a little bit about this. He had come down to Tucson to do some RDS training with one of the companies down here. And I had asked him, I can't remember exactly what I asked him. It was something to the effect of, who are the ones who are most in danger of getting hurt? And he said, it's the old guys.
Hmm.
He says, it's experience is a wonderful quality to have in most areas except for safety.
Yeah, that
And
is,
he said, because
yeah,
yeah, he said you're basing your decision making on your own past experience instead of what you should be doing is basing your decisions on the data, because the
ugh,
data from the entire country, even from the world really, but for us it's our country. When we look at where people get injured, the safety standards are based on that data, not on your own experience, because you could just be going and doing really unsafe things and just nothing happens to you. That
yeah,
doesn't mean that that what you're doing is safe, just because your own personal experience hasn't resulted in any injury yet. Because the injury could be the next job that you have because you're still doing it in an unsafe way. So I think that's such wise decision, because I think all of us can be prone to the whole like, oh, I've been doing this 25 years, I've been doing this
yeah,
30 years, I've been doing it 40 years, whatever, and I got this. But if data is showing that there's an area of concern that's part of your business, you're wise to listen to the data and make those adjustments and just put your ego to the side and say, hey, okay, maybe this wasn't a problem in the past, but they're saying it's a problem now. Maybe it's something I need to be aware of and make
yeah,
some adjustments.
yeah.
So for sure. Yeah.
I had a guy in here last week and we were talking because he just had a guy having a fall on a ladder. And I was telling him about, we had a guy that worked for us. This was several years ago. It was actually my brother. And he he made the decision. He just had to get one window left. And he just took the ladder real quick, popped it up,
uh,
put it on the welcome mat,
of
and got up
course.
there. And the window mat, and he broke both of his ankles and his elbows. I mean, it was just, and he looked back and he goes, why was I so stupid? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? And at
Yeah.
that point, it's too late as I'm driving him to the
Right.
emergency room, because,
Right.
and I'm not putting him down, because I look back and I shudder at some of the things I did in the past. And I'm like, I don't even
Right.
want to say because it's
Oh,
embarrassing.
me too. Me too. I tell you. Yeah, I hired one guy, same, very similar. And when I hire people, I put them through the expert safety, it's the
Hmm.
safety advocate, right? They got to take the OSHA 1910 and the ladder course and the water fit course. So that's just standard. You hired, you can work, but you can't do anything with ladders, anything with water fit till you watch those safety videos.
Yeah.
And he just, for whatever reason, I think he was just intimidated by the technology or whatever. He had a phone. Literally all you do is click the link. It takes you to the video. You watch the video. You answer the
Yeah.
questions, and you pass. That's it. It's really easy. But he just kept putting it off. So I kept telling him, you can't use ladders. You can't use ladders. You got to take that. Until you take that, you can't use, So we were on this big house, and I don't know. I guess he figured he was doing me a favor because there was this foyer in the entrance, and he put up a ladder. Same thing. It was a rug. It wasn't a welcome mat, but it was a rug, nice and slippery rug. Climbed up. Thankfully, he didn't hurt himself too bad. But what he did was, as his ladder went down, it scraped the tint on the glass all the way down. So it cost me about $500 to replace that tint for the customer. Thankfully, the glass was, I don't know how the glass wasn't scratched, but the tint was ruined. So, and I lost that account.
Yeah.
It was a really big house that I've been cleaning for years. But yeah, I mean, he obviously didn't last much longer after that. But it just shows, yeah, if he would have taken the ladder course, he would have known you don't put a ladder on a rug,
I know.
Unless it's like one of those non-stick ones. But it's even that, you just want to be really careful about how you do anything. And it was frustrating because, I mean, how many times had I told him to just take the training, and it's like people just sort of don't want to do it, and it always ends up in some type of trouble.
I know. You know what they say? The number one, like, workman's comp for window cleaners is the razor. Your scraper. And I love that Ninja where you can have it face down, clicked in, because I mean, have you ever done that where you go to grab? Well, we used to have these. My husband used to make all the time. They were leather, and we'd have it up, because it was like a hammer loop, and the lid would, wear off, and I'd go to grab it, and the lid, and it just slices your whole hand open.
But just real quick, Mark Tanner says hi to you.
Oh, Mark, gosh, I need more. I'll tell you, those Squeegee Life towels. I'm not just making a plug. Those are the best ever. And Mark and Katie are so wonderful to supply us with those. So I got to get an order in. That's what I love too about this industry. There's so many, the innovation, like Mark and Katie with the Squeegee Life towels, and those new Mike, he's got the that you put your holder. Steel wool on.
Yes,
we got some of those.
He's going to be at that. Yeah, he's going to be at that meetup in Utah during that time. So that's pretty cool. I love that. I haven't ordered him yet. I do want to order him. Yeah. Is he? Oh, awesome. Very cool. Yeah,
he's coming next week, I believe. Exciting, he's getting new magnets on those too. They're going to be even stronger because a few of them, I saw a review, I think Luke did, and it was falling off, but he said, don't worry, he's getting that fixed. So it's such a cool tool.
Yeah, very cool. Speaking of cool tools, you have a pole that you guys just made somewhat recently. Would you want to talk a little bit about it?
So we have, first of all, so many cool water-fed poles on the market. We got the chance to get our own made. We just named it the WMS for Window Magic Supply.
Nice.
And then the size. But what I love about this pole, first off, on the ones that go over 20 feet, the two bottom sections are fiberglass. And so like you pointed out, when you, and that meaning they are insulated, you cannot take our poles. They're not designed to take sections off, which sometimes could be a little frustrating because you get one big pole, you like to take a few sections off. The benefit with that is you're not going to take off the insulated ends. You're just going to pull up. So it's the carbon fiber, full carbon fiber, but the way that the clamps are designed, it's got like a V groove in there. What my favorite part is, this is an anti-spin pole. Did you ever get, you're 40 feet up and then all of a sudden your brush starts twirling around on the top because it's not, which
not
is
only
so
that,
frustrating. Huh?
Not only that, but I think I have a heart attack every time I see my poles and my guys have not lined up the clamps and they're all my OCD would I would buy that just for that, to know that my clamps will always be lined up no matter who
Yeah.
uses my poles.
The clamps are always lined up. Yes, that's another thing that Justin, who works with me, he said the very same thing. And I like our clamps just because they're just a very simple,
Mhm.
and like I say, you pull any section up, it is not going anywhere. And
Nice.
we've had this out for a little over a year. I think we've had maybe two people. And what I think really happened is their employee out in the field tried taking the sections off.
Oh,
But we
sure.
warranty these things. A clamp breaks, give us a call. We'll send you the new clamp out. They're very easy. It's got a little shim in there, very easy. And we'll send a little video on how to do it. But so we're getting more made. So we have the little shorty. This is the 12. I got a 16, and then we have what we call the compact, a 30-foot. It's just shorter. It has more
Mhm.
sections.
Mhm.
The only thing when you do get the compact, what it's great. We have a lot of guys here in Southern California that are working out of Priuses because our gas
Right.
is
Yes.
astronomical. So
Yes,
they get
yes.
the Hydrocart Junior. It's a short little, and then they'll get the compact pole. They can get everything in a Prius. The girth of it is pretty wide. That's the only thing I have to say. It's
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
little
for sure,
fatter in
for
your
sure.
hands, but
Well, that's
um,
the trade-off, right? If you can,
yeah,
if it's easy to fit into your vehicle, it means it's going to be thicker at the bottom, and a little heavier than normal. I mean, that's, you're either
yeah,
buying longer sections or shorter sections and heavier weight. So, I mean,
and have more
you just got to know
clamps.
what you're
Yeah,
doing. Have more
that's
clamps.
all
Yep.
there is to it. But it's a lightweight pole, and guys have sent me videos of them going up 40 feet, and it's not like a noodle. It's not a wet noodle. And we also have extensions. And we're also coming out this year. We're coming out with the high mod pole, so it'll be lighter and more
Nice,
rigid. So that'll be coming out too. So
nice, very cool. I do. It's one of those things where, and I see both sides of the so both points too, with the two insulated bottom sections, because in order for the two bottom sections to be effective, you have to change the way you lengthen the pole, right? Because
yes,
you have to lengthen the top almost to where you want to get, and then you pull out the bottom section, and that's just not what people do. And the argument against it is, oh well, they're just going to ignore it, and then they're just going to have one section anyways, because if it's not fully extended,
right.
well then you're not going to go. But for me, I'm like, but it's a tool, so it means you have to train yourself. You have to train yourself and your employees to,
Hmm.
it's just a learned process, right? So that's what we've done. We have two sections now. What I did was, because I have zero poles, so they have the fiberglass bottom sections.
Yeah.
um and so yeah, so we just added those extra sections on there, so it has two. And I just continually train my guys, hey, when you're down there, you go up to almost there, and then you extend the bottom section, so you've got two. And then you will naturally lower it with that. But that it's an unlearning process. I think people are hesitant to embrace, which I get that. But I
Ex-
love that you have the two, and I love that they can't be taken off, because
yes, I do too. And
yeah.
like we mentioned earlier, I think the hardest part is for us people that have been doing it so long, we have a certain way of doing it, and to
Hmm.
unlearn some of those things,
Yeah.
to go back and do it that way. Just like some guys have talked about, walking around the house with the pole fully extended,
Yes.
and not
Yeah.
doing that because you
Well, that's
really are
that's what
not aware
happened.
of all the hazards up there.
That's right. That's right. And that's what happened to the one guy that I mentioned earlier, who had the near miss. He had extended, instead of lowering it and moving to another part of the building. He just kept it up and then just walked, and then pretty soon he came within that too close to that line, and then he had the accident. So yeah, it's not really, we can talk about PP all day, but if you
Yeah.
don't just follow basic safety standards and don't put yourself in that position to be in danger, I mean, that's 80% of the battle right there, is to make sure you're not never in that position. So you don't really need the PPE, but you always want to have it just for the 20% when something
When you
happens that
do.
sneaks up on you. Yeah.
Yeah. And not
So no,
rush.
really, really good points. Yeah,
That
and
was
not
always
rush.
my thing. It's like my husband would always say, nobody's going to die if we're going to be late. Call your customer, say,
Yes.
I'm going to be late. Or,
Yeah.
can I come tomorrow? But try not to rush,
Right.
because that's when most accidents
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. But I just am happy that there's a discussion, even if people may have a disagreement about what's important or what should be done or what shouldn't. I'm just glad we have that awareness enough
Hmm.
that it can be a public discussion safety wise about PP, about standards and all of that. Because I mean, when I started, nobody talked about it. When I bought my first water fed pole, which I still have, it's like this beast of a heavy water fed pole. I didn't know anything about it. Nothing. No safety, no worry. I mean, I just went up there, just threw it up, did the windows, brought it right back down, didn't even think about any type of danger. And now it seems like, the majority of, at least on social media, I know when I'm on Reddit, there's still a lot of people who aren't, at least don't take it seriously, don't have the same attitude about safety that they should. But it's still progress. It's still progress, and that's what's
Absolutely.
important for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I do think, like, with the advent with all this AI, and so I think there's going to be more and more people getting into the industry from
Mhm.
all different areas. So we got
Mhm.
to stay alert, and, with that education.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of things. Squeegee does have some training on safety. We don't focus on it a whole lot just because there are so many
Right.
better organizations, like you mentioned, Expert Safety Services and the Safety Advocate app, and then with ISCA for the solar panel cleaning, and then IWCA has their own training. There's a lot of different trainings out there that where you can get some type of safety training. So I'd much rather leave it to those professionals to do the full training.
Absolutely.
But we definitely do encourage that and do talk about some very basic safety topics in our modules and in our in-person classes. I like that one time I went to Atlanta that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, one of the things I noticed right away when they were doing their water fed was no one was laying down any cones. They were just running a bunch of hoses, and there
Mm,
was no cones anywhere. And right away I pointed out, I was like, hey, this is, although it wasn't busy, in their defense, it was early.
right.
The place they were cleaning was closed. It wasn't really active. I said, but this is a sidewalk. Anybody could, on a morning jog, or walking their dog, and you've got these hoses just sitting there hanging up in the air. And so we talked about how to run the hoses safely, keeping them off the sidewalks where you can, and then when you can't, putting cones, making sure that
Yeah.
it's very noticeable where they're at. But just stuff like that, I think, which is not super common sense. But hopefully once you get that training, then it just becomes natural, and it's just part of your procedure, your SOPs, and you just do it, and don't even have a second thought. It's just something that you do, and
Yeah.
and
And
everyone can be safe. Yeah.
just like with any trade, there's all the things that go into it, to
Yep.
legitimize it. And I think the safety is a key feature in setting us apart
Yep.
in this industry
Yeah, for
from
sure. For
someone
sure.
just, yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, Randy, we're just about out of time. So I just had to ask you, do you think you'll be able to make the next IWC convention? I know you had to set out this last
Yes.
one.
Jose and
Okay,
I were
good.
just talking about that, because it's going to be in, I don't know why that's where Jose was standing right over there. But we were talking about that yesterday, because it's going to be in Texas. We don't
Yes.
know where yet in Texas, because it hasn't
Yeah,
been
no, we
released.
did. They just announced it. They just
Oh,
dropped it. It's going to be in, I think it's Red Rock, Austin. Is it Red
ooh,
Rock? Yeah, hold on real quick. I'm going to look it up.
oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Am I yelling?
And
I hope I'm
it's
not
Austin
yelling.
for sure.
Okay.
But I just wanted there was another smaller city. IWCA. Round Rock, not Red Rock, Round Rock, Austin, Texas, February 4th through the 6th, 2027. So, yeah, it's a beautiful resort. You see a picture on it on the post, on the recent post,
Nice.
just posted 8 hours ago. So it was this morning they dropped it. They've been
Okay,
kind of
cool.
doing teasers throughout the week. So we finally got the actual location now. And then we'll have actual Elevate website where it's regardless of your PWNA or IWCA, you'll be able to apply there. And we're trying to get everything unified as much as possible this time. And we learned a lot. I mean, first of all, last convention was super successful.
Yes, I
We
heard.
really did well, but we learned a lot, and there was some mistakes we made, and some things that we know we can do better. So we are, I mean, every single meeting we're talking about this. That's exactly what we're like. How can we make this better? We want to keep this going. It was such a good synergy that we had with. I hate that buzzword, but it really was true with PWNA, and we just want to keep that going because I feel like a lot of people benefit from us having this together, and we want to make it work and be even better than last year. So,
Oh yeah, because there's so many people
well,
that do both trades. The idea.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So yeah, it'll be a lot
well,
of fun. Yeah,
awesome.
I
I'm
couldn't come last
glad to hear
year,
you.
but I'm excited we get to come this year. So thank you,
Yeah, good.
Gabe,
Well, I look
so
forward to
much
seeing you
for
in person.
having me on here. It's always
Of
such an honor.
course. It's always nice to talk with you. I hope everything's going well, and I will make one of those meetups there because you're not too
Oh,
far from me. I think you're about 6 hours from me.
yeah,
So
not too
I
far at
will
all.
pack the truck and drive on down and hang out with you guys, and yeah, it looks like a lot of fun, and look forward to seeing you. So you said the next
August.
one's in August? All
Yeah,
right.
I'll let you
I
know,
will.
and you'll probably see a lot of this people that you know.
Yes.
So many
Yep.
cool
100%.
people come. They bring their
Every
rigs,
time
and
I
we have so much fun.
Yes. Yeah, every time I want to go and I look and see who went, I'm like, oh, I know the person. Oh, I know them. I know them. I could have seen them.
Well,
So I'm
this
really gonna
time
try. I know I have. What date in August? Do you have a date yet?
I haven't picked it, but it's usually the middle, and I try not to do it because the
Okay, good.
huge is in August.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
do it apart
I
from there.
might. I have a tentative training on the East Coast at the beginning of August, but if it's in the middle,
It's in the middle. I'll
then
get you the date
I
for sure.
okay, then I think I can make it because I would really like to. I'm going to try to make the Utah one too, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh, that'll be
But
fun. I
awesome,
saw
Randy.
that posted. Thank you guys so much for everything.
Yeah, thank you. And thank everybody for listening. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
I always
Thank
appreciate
you.
the support. Also, just so you know, I've had a few people message me and say, hey, I'm not a member of Window Cleaning Nation, or how do I get it? Maybe they're a little confused about how to join the group. I do also live stream this on my YouTube channel. So if you know someone who says that, you can just say, hey, well, just go to the YouTube. Now you won't get your comments in. I'll see them later, but I only see the comments that are in the Window Cleaning Nation group. That's if you want to participate. But I will see comments on YouTube later. But it's streamed live there as well. So, but thank you
Can I
guys so much.
can I
Oh
say
yeah, go
one
ahead.
last
Go ahead,
little
Randy.
thing? I have
Absolutely,
a little
absolutely.
group. It's San Diego County Window Cleaners, and we started it just for San Diego County, but it's for everyone now. We would love it if you join that as well. Thank you.
I will join as soon as we get off here.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Randy. Thank you guys. You have a great day, and we'll see you next
Thank
week. Take
you.
care.
Bye bye.